Training is something that every Rocket League player must encounter at some point. In order to get better at this game, you're gonna have to train. Simple as that. But how many players genuinely understand the correct ways to train and habits they need to form in order to improve? Not you with your AFK brain for an hour and free play looking at... Look, improvement in this game can be made so much faster and so much easier than what you're probably doing right now. I'm going to give you guys the best way to lay out your training so that you can actually rank up in this game. And make sure to stick around to the end because I go over the most foolproof, best plan to improve in this game. Before we begin though, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out so I can keep making content for you guys. Also, join the Discord as well if you haven't already, but yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, in my opinion, I really don't like boring, repetitive training routines that make me zombie out and make me feel like Rocket League's a full 9-to-5 job. So I'm gonna make this guide as fun as possible to train so you actually enjoy playing this game, because that is really the best way to improve. First of all, let's talk about free play. Now, Rocket League literally gives like zero explanation for what to actually do in free play, so most players just end up avoiding it entirely or just bump the ball around aimlessly. This stops right now, okay? Free play is the single best training tool you can use to improve pretty much every single aspect of your gameplay. All you gotta do to improve the best way possible is to follow what all the pros do. Hit the ball around in free play with as much speed as possible. Really, it's that simple. They're not doing some like Illuminati rituals to get better. This is what they spend the most of their time training. The reason this is by far the best training routine for players to do is because this is the only drill where you are actually able to speed up your gameplay, which is literally like ground zero for improvement. Essentially, what you want to be doing is hitting the ball around the field with as much power as possible, as fast as possible. Focus on hitting the ball with your corners and nose to get the most power on the ball every time you make contact. Try and push yourself to get to attack the ball much faster than you normally would, to the point where you start to whiff. This is where the most improvement happens. When you push yourself to be uncomfortable enough to whiff as you speed up, you will notice that you gradually start to be able to hit the balls that you would normally whiff as you train more. Try to incorporate more advanced movements like half flips, wave dashes, and speed flips as you chase after the ball. Also, focus on how power slide works into this drill, because power sliding is so much more important to movement mechanics than you think. Okay, you see this little button? This button right here? I guarantee you have never used this button in your life. This is another huge way to make training so much more efficient. So many players spend all their time in free play with unlimited boost, which misses one of the most important aspects of Rocket League: boost management. All you gotta do is turn this bad boy off and free play becomes an entirely different experience. You now have to factor in how much boost you have when attacking the ball, and have to try and path to the ball through the boost paths. This is going to give you the added benefit of memorizing boost pathing, which is crucial to learn as fast as possible in this game. You also have to learn how to make strong contact with the ball without a lot of boost, and figure out when to prioritize boost or hitting the ball. Now, say you got a new mechanic or two that you want to train and try to incorporate in your gameplay. Well, you can also train that with this drill. Crazy, right? Basically, as you're absolutely booming the ball around the map, focus on where and when you can incorporate this new mechanic into your movements. For example, if you're looking to train speed flips, boom the ball across the map and then speed flip towards it to make contact even quicker, building up your muscle memory and using it as part of your natural movements. If you want to practice flicks, as you're booming it across the field, if it happens to be dropping on top of your car, take control of it and try flicking it across the map. Incorporating these new mechanics that you want to improve in this drill is going to speed up your muscle memory building process so much. Because instead of learning how to do the mechanic consistently and then learning how to incorporate it into your gameplay, you're doing both at the exact same time. Ultimately, free play is your main tool of improvement, so you should be spending the most time in this game mode if you want to improve as fast as possible. However, chasing the ball around like a freaking dog for hours on end can get pretty boring, so I'm going to give you guys way more options to optimize your training and have fun while doing it. Okay, training packs. Okay, this is slightly controversial, but honestly, if you're ranked platinum or above, just don't do defense training packs. They're just so boring, and they're kind of overrated. A lot of the saves that you'll get with these packs can be easily trained through offensive training packs, or just by playing games. Ever since I ranked out of gold, I've seriously trained save packs maybe like 3 times ever. It's really not worth it. Now, obviously, if you have fun doing these, then for sure go for them, but they can be helpful. But I personally think there are much better options for improvement. With that being said, training packs in general should be viewed as a supplement to your training, not what you base your entire training routine around. A lot of players get stuck into the habit of grinding the same few training packs over and over again, which is really bad because you end up just training for those specific shots instead of for your overall skill in-game. What I mean by this is after you've done a pack 2 or 3 times, you kinda already know where the ball is gonna go, which in turn makes you react before the ball is even played. This does not help you at all in-game, where you pretty much only have the option to read balls after they have already been played. You basically just train the contact only, and not the actual reading you normally have to do in-game. However, training packs can still be super useful to your improvement, so let me show you the best way to actually use them. First of all, switch up your training pack rotation as often as possible. The best way to avoid reacting before the ball is played is to not remember how the shot is gonna be played, which just means switching it up a lot. There are a ton of options out there for every skill level and area you want to practice. I have a list of my 15 favorite training packs to use if you want to check that out, but constantly go through the training browser to find new packs. You'll find that you become more prepared for scenarios in-game because you've been exposed to so many different ones in these packs. Secondly, when using these training packs, don't just aim to score the ball, because these P-rollers are not going to get past any type of defender. When training, focus on being able to make the best possible contact with the ball in every shot so that it's almost unsavable for any potential goalkeeper. You want to make sure that you're training your shots to be as accurate as possible, and in order to do that, you actually have to focus on where you want to place the ball. Third, try and make your shots as realistic as possible for in-game scenarios. Don't try and pre-jump balls after you restarted a shot like 90 times because you know the exact pathing of the ball. It doesn't help you at all. Another thing that a lot of players do, which is really unproductive, is try and dribble the ball to the net if a shot is too hard. Trust me, no one will care if you don't 100% a training pack. It's fine. You want to try and react to the ball being played and score from there, and score in the way it was intended to be scored. And finally, use training packs as a baseline for your improvement. See how many shots you can score on the first try on a specific pack, and then come back later to retry and see how many more you can score on the first try. This is a really cool way to see improvement in your gameplay, even if you're in a really hard slump, because you're most likely still better than the last time you tested yourself. It also gives you confidence that you're actually improving, which is really important to have, especially if you've been losing a lot of your games because your teammates just cannot stop own goaling. Okay, now I know a lot of people say to watch your own replays as a form of training to improve. I mean, I've even told you guys to do that, but honestly, it's really boring to do, and most of you guys probably won't end up doing that anyway. So, an actually fun alternative is watching Rocket League creators and pros play, whether that be streamers, YouTubers, or official RLCS broadcasts. Find a creator that is of a higher rank than you and watch their content to learn how better players play and make decisions. Oftentimes, these creators will also go through their decision-making process while playing, making it even more helpful to your improvement. This is way more entertaining and you'll be having more fun while learning, and also supporting the Rocket League community. Now, finally, one of the best training tips I can give you in this game, and the one that you probably haven't really thought of much, is to condense your training into chunks of time. This is so important to your improvement, because you grasp mechanics so much faster by grinding them out in one focused chunk of time. So many players think that just hopping on Rocket League and training for like 15 minutes a day is gonna get them to rank up. Like, you're literally just hopping on Rocket League to warm up and then getting off. Like, what are you doing? Look, you need to dedicate a sizable chunk of time out of your day to train in order to get much more improvement out of the time you spend in this game. Training for 2 hours, 2 days of the week is so much better than training for 15 minutes every day. You need to give yourself enough time to get into the flow of things and actually pinpoint what you need to improve. This is why you see players getting to champ with like 400 hours while you're stuck in diamond with 1,000 hours. You need to train in chunks of time in order to see more improvement much faster. Okay, now for all you guys that have made it to the end, as a special gift to you guys, I'm going to give you the most optimized training routine that should drastically speed up your improvement while also being fun to do. I also made this so you can scale it out based on how much time you have each day to train, so do whatever competitions you gotta do to make it work. Okay, to start off, you want to spend 40% of your training time doing the free play drill. This is where you will see the most improvement in your gameplay, so you're going to be spending a decent amount of time in here. For me personally, I like to do this while I vibe out to some music or listen to my favorite YouTubers. It makes it a lot more enjoyable and it's honestly pretty relaxing, and you're getting better at the game at the same time. It's like actually the most cracked strat. Okay, after you've done the free play drill, you want to spend 10% of your training time doing training packs. Use this time to focus on skills you're really lacking in, whether that be shooting, aerials, dribbling, or saves if you hate yourself. You should also train mechanics that you feel like you're pretty solid at, however, because most likely you're not as good at them as you think. Remember to switch up your training packs as often as possible so you don't get too comfortable with the same shots, but make sure to keep testing yourself periodically so you can see improvement. Rotation and diversity in your routine is key for ranking up. Next, use 10% of your time for spot improvement. What I mean by this is specifically aim drills to focus on 1 or 2 mechanics that you really want to hammer down. Now, this could be workshop maps for car control, kickoff training spam, or, yes, air dribbles and free play. I'm not going to go over all the drills you can do for specific mechanics because that would just take a lot of time, but I linked a bunch of videos in the description with drills for specific mechanics that you can use in this time slot. This time is perfect for fixing up mechanics that might get overlooked in other training time slots. This spot training will make sure that you're completely well-rounded and ready to go for the final part of training. Spend 40% playing the actual game. Hopping into games will put your training to the test, and apply the skills you've learned to actual in-game situations. However, it's really easy to get wrapped up in the drama of Rocket League gameplay, so it's important to focus on what you're actually playing for. Try not to get too triggered when your teammates are throwing and just generally focus on yourself. You want to spend this time consciously focusing on how the skills you are training work into gameplay and pick up on any mistakes you seem to be making over and over again. Also, it's low-key fun to play the game, especially after you've been warmed up for so long, you literally feel like a god on the field. Okay, I think that's it. That's everything you need to train properly in Rocket League for the fastest possible improvement. Oh, wait. I forgot one more thing, yeah. Okay, basically, over everything else, the best thing you can do to drastically improve your training routine is